Okay, welcome home again. I've got welcome home on the brain. So before we start a presentation, I would like to introduce Mike Romero, who is our Director of Security. So Mike, all yours. Could I just make a request? Please wait until the microphone comes around to you in case you have a question for Mike, okay?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Romero. As Michelle mentioned, I'm your Director of Security here at SunLakes. With me is Lieutenant Roman, who's also in command. I'm going to go over some items of concern that have been brought up to my attention and what we're doing as a security department for you guys, okay? So I want to take a few moments to address some of the recent concerns regarding activity in our RV lot. Over the past few days, we have seen a small increase of suspicious activity in that area. And we had a report of 2 launchers that were removed from an RV. With the loss being limited to these items, any incident within our community is something that we take very seriously. As many of you are aware, the RV lot operates under a park at your own risk understanding. That said, park at your own risk does not mean security turns a blind eye. It simply reflects the reality that the RV lot, by its nature and layout, presents certain challenges. There are areas where visibility is limited and blind spots are unfortunately unavoidable in open storage style environments like our RV lot here at SunLakes. Even so, we continuously evaluate how we can best use these resources available to us to reduce the risk as much as possible. In response to the recent activity, we have increased and directed patrols within the RV lot, especially during the hours when suspicious activity is most likely to occur. Officers are conducting more frequent walkthroughs, vehicle checks, and documentation of anything that appears out of place. We're also monitoring patterns, looking at times, access points, and behaviors so that we can be more strategic rather than simply reactive. At this time, I want to be transparent with you. We are a community of over 3,200 homes, and at any given time, there is typically one patrol officer responsible for covering the entire property. That means our effectiveness depends heavily on visibility, timing, and partnership with our community. We are committed to being proactive, but we also must deploy our resources in a way that protects the entire community in a whole. Security alone cannot eliminate opportunity, but we can reduce it. And this is where we ask for your partnership. If you do use the RV lot and utilize it to store your units and any other items, please ensure that your valuables are removed from your vehicles, doors and compartments are locked, and nothing is left in plain view. If you see something that does not look right, report it immediately. The sooner we receive information, the quicker we can respond and document it. Our goal is prevention. We are actively patrolling, adjusting our deployment as needed, and keeping communication open with management regarding ongoing concerns. We will continue to reassess conditions and make recommendations when appropriate. We take pride in protecting this community. While there are limitations inherent in any large property, please know that security team is attentive, engaged, and doing everything within our scope to deter criminal activity and respond quickly when issues arise. We are upping our patrols as much as possible in the RV lot. We are taking random opportunities and times that are not scheduled, giving everybody the aspect of us being out there is what we're trying to let the community know, that we are actively inside the RV lot. But these are opportunistic individuals that will do whatever they can to try to access the RV lot. What we're asking, if you guys see any suspicious vehicles within the perimeter, always call to report it. We are not on Facebook, folks. I'm not checking the Facebook feeds. I'm not responding to Facebook complaints. If you guys want to report something suspicious, don't do it on Facebook. Call us. If we don't know about it, I cannot send patrol out there. I cannot station an officer in any location if we don't know what's going on within certain districts or outside the community. So engaging in that style is what we're asking for from the community. Please keep us up to date if you guys do see anything suspicious. Do not hesitate on reporting it immediately. Normally, we will get calls about suspicious activity that happened 5 days ago or a week ago. I'll still document the incident, but we can't be proactive that way. So we are asking our residents to please call us immediately if they are seeing anything. And if you do have any questions, we are here to answer those questions for you. Don't rely on any communication on Facebook. We work alongside with Banning PD. We are on top of everything that goes on in the community, and we are very transparent in communicating with all of our residents and letting you guys know what we are doing and what we can do to help you out. Another topic of concern is soliciting, as you guys are aware. I also want to address an ongoing concern regarding solicitation activity within our community, specifically involving landscaping company that's been operating under the name EcoPro. This company has been previously advised by Sun Lakes that Sun Lakes is a solicitation-free community. While they are occasionally called in by an individual homeowner to perform scheduled work, we have documented instances where, after completing that work, representatives have gone door to door attempting to solicit additional services. This is not permitted under our community rules. Security has made contact with the company owners in the past and clearly communicated expectations. Despite these warnings, compliance has remained inconsistent. We have received feedback from residents who felt pressured or charged excessive rates for services, which is concerning. We are actively documenting each occurrence and have brought the matter forward to further review. Discussions are ongoing regarding potential next steps to ensure community standards are upheld. In the meantime, if you are approached by any company conducting unsolicited door-to-door activity, please notify us immediately. We will go out there and make contact with these individuals, explain what we can and cannot do here in Sun Lakes, and if need be, I will call the owners to let them know that these individuals aren't in violation. Further steps will be taken, and that will be something that I will be discussing with management moving forward as well. Another topic of concern is overnight parking violations. This will be my last one, I promise. I want to address recent concerns regarding overnight parking. We have seen an increase in calls reporting vehicles parked on the streets or on driveways for extended periods of time. While residents are permitted to park in these areas, they must remain in compliance with Sun Lakes regulations. This includes obtaining a valid overnight parking pass when required, or ensuring that a valid disabled placard or license plate is properly displayed, clearly visible for our patrol units during their rounds. Over the past 2 weeks, security has issued multiple parking citations throughout the entire community on vehicles that we have found that have been in violation. Our approach is consistent and compliant-driven, but also proactive when violations are observed during routine patrols. The goal is not to penalize residents, but to maintain fairness, accessibility, and compliance with established community standards. Really simple, folks. We're here to help you guys out as much as possible. If you guys do use your allotted amount of passes that you are allowed per year, contact administration. They will work with you as long as you guys explain your situation or circumstances, and they'll be more than happy to extend passes. My gate officers are only allowed to print 3 days and 2 nights at a time. Anything longer than that, you can come back to our station to get an extension, or if you're planning on leaving your vehicle for more than a week or two, administration would be the best approach. And we will be more than happy to guide you to who you need to speak with on that, okay? In closing, I'll continue to monitor these issues closely, adjust our enforcement and patrol efforts when needed, and keep communication open with management and the community. As always, your awareness and timely reporting play a critical role in prevention. Thank you for your continued cooperation and partnership in helping us maintain the safety and standards of Sun Lakes. Thank you. Any questions?
One over here.
So I've talked to several I don't want my lips talking it. There's been several security that I've talked to that says that you guys don't want to hire anybody, and that one patrol is only at night. So their one person is going through all the north side, the south side, the RV. So why is it you only want to have one person at night when most of the activity is happening? So that's question number one. And question number two is the main gate, the walking. A lot of time that's left unlocked. So there's people going in and out and leaving unlocked, and there's been people that's come through at night because it's left open. So what is it you guys can do to make sure that's consistently locked? Because even the security said they don't have time to check gates.
We do check gates, and we have extreme thorough documentation on gates that have been found open. When we do find a gate that's not properly secured, it could very easily be a maintenance issue that can be resolved. Locking mechanisms do fail around the gates. Once the reports are submitted, the maintenance order goes out and it gets fixed immediately. We do check those gates. The pedestrian gates that we do find unlocked, like I said, are just residents that maybe don't have their keys with them at the moment, and they're just It's a common occurrence, ma'am. They do leave it unlocked. This is just based on what I've observed personally. But my officers do check the gates. When they get off, they'll check not just the vehicle entrances, but the pedestrian gates. They'll pull on them to make sure that they are locked. If they do find something that's out of place, we'll report it immediately. As far as the resources go, it's feasible for us to maintain presence around the community as much as possible. But my guys do get held up on certain situations. A suspicious call can take sometimes between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how quick Banning PD responds to our calls. We have to work alongside with Banning PD as best as we can. My guys are not law enforcement, folks. We don't carry guns. We don't have powers to arrest. We cannot detain anybody. We're there to observe it. We'll report it, and it's up to Banning PD whether they can respond properly or not. But what we're trying to do is just be as visible to the entire community, not just in the RV lot. We have to be consistent in being everywhere as much as possible. We are working with management and trying to see what we can do to change that. But at this time, I just don't see it as a feasible option to have more than 5-6 units for the entire community. We're going to continue to work on it, and if the board and the residents come to an agreement, then we'll be willing to work with you guys as much as possible based on those requests. But again, we're very limited to what we can do in terms of our powers of arrest and limitations due to the state. I agree, and that's something that I can bring up again with the board, and we'll discuss that, and I'll be more than happy to address it with the community once we come to a better understanding on that, okay?
Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Carly
Carly.
Beeks. Question, regarding the RV lot. Now, I thought don't we have security cameras?
We do have security cameras, and
they-
we are in the process of actually upgrading the system. The RV lot does have specific areas that are blind to cameras. Those are the areas that tend to be targets. Now, the blind spots, however, we've been working along with management and letting them know these are locations that are high target areas for anybody to jump over. When we observe that on our CCTV, we dispatch somebody out right away. If we do see anybody walking around the perimeter, we'll send a patrol unit out there, and we'll hopefully find what we're looking for. But again, it's a little complex when patrol is tied up on one call, and I don't have anybody responding immediately
Right,
to the
but
RV
if they
lot.
see it on the camera and they know their patrol's out doing something else, why can't they call the police department and say?
We do.
Okay.
We do call the police department, and my response on behalf of the police department is I will send a unit out there as soon as we can.
Hello, my name is Millie. I live on the north side, and for a long time I was getting these people ringing my doorbells, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, no matter what. You couldn't catch them. Well, okay, but what's happening now, it was going no problems. In the last 2 nights, somebody's ringing my doorbell at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. So I say that they put that on the going out of the gate 2, they put that wrought iron there, but they left it where you can come around it. Then on the other side, where the waterfall is, there's another way that they can just walk in there also to get into Sun Lakes. So they've got, and they're usually homeless people, and this is where we all are working. I didn't call for the last 2 because I was so tired. I heard them and went back to sleep, and I thought, there's not enough people here to go out there and get it taken care of.
So what I can tell you, I'm very familiar with your case. The reports that my officers have generated regarding your calls of concern, The officer that's working the graveyard beat has taken the opportunity and the time to actually remain in front of your home or around the area and just observe any suspicious activity that he might be able to catch. The times that we've gotten that call, we haven't seen anybody. We haven't spotted anybody suspicious. Do you know if maybe your neighbors might have a Ring doorbell camera or outside cameras?
Well, I have one of those.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Does your camera pick any activity
By the
up?
time I get woken up and get my cell phone's right by my bed, I've got to go into the my print, telephone.
phone?
And then I have to get in there to the ring bell and so forth. And I'm in the dark in my bedroom, and they're gone.
So next time the call comes in, if you make a call and it happens again, let Jesse know, he's the one that's working the graveyard beat, that you have video footage,
Yeah.
and that'll help us try to identify who this person is,
Well, what I
what
think-
time they're coming through.
Well, I was told I should put a camera outside. When they walk up, it'll take the picture on the camera.
That's another good suggestion, but your Ring doorbell cam, especially if they're ringing your doorbell, it's gonna record right away. So we want to identify who that person is. If it's no, I'm not saying it's Casper the Friendly Ghost, but we want to make sure that it is somebody that's ringing your doorbell. We don't know if it's an electrical issue that it might be happening. Again, these are just assumptions.
Well, I was told there's a lot of homeless people coming off the railroad and back through our area. Is that real? Is that?
No, that is not correct. That is absolutely false. Okay, we do observe suspicious activity and we stop it right away. That is one of the things that I can assure you is that the area that you're describing where the railroad track is at, Lieutenant Roman and I have made it a point to go out there every single day. If we see anything that's near the fence line, we will throw it on the back of my truck and take it out so that way they know that we're observing this area. We don't want anybody to jump the fences or the walls. We want to prevent that as much as possible. So what we're doing proactively is making our presence known a little bit more stronger in that area. Even if it's not inside Sun Lake's property, we're on that railroad track side, letting them know security's here, they're doing random checks, and we will remove any items that we feel might be tents or personal items and take them as far away from Sun Lakes so that way we're inconveniencing them from coming back. But I assure you folks, the suspicious activity that is being reported doesn't necessarily mean that we are having people coming into the community. That is not happening, okay? We've had incidents, yes, but it's more thin than more, you know, the progressive of them jumping those walls is just false. It's not really happening. So again, don't go to Facebook to get that information. It's not valid. Come to us directly. We have CCTV footage that we can even share with those residents that are concerned. What is it that security is looking for? Where are the cameras at? What angles can you guys look at? We're very transparent in our department. Questions, concerns are always welcomed. Feedback is always welcomed. And anything that you guys report to us will always be thoroughly documented.
Question over here.
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
The cameras that you have, the surveillance cameras that you have on the problem areas, especially at night, is somebody looking at the CCTV all night?
CCTV coverage is being monitored 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. My dispatch facility has an officer there, and they leave at 9 p.m. at night. From 9 p.m. to 5 in the morning, the gate officers are monitoring 2 widescreen TVs that are inside our stations and tending the gates as well. We are a slow, it's not as busy during the graveyard hours, folks. Maybe we see 5 or 6 vehicles come through our gates from those hours. So our officers have plenty of time to be staring at that screen and reporting any suspicious activity that is coming in, especially the RV lot. The last incident that we had, my officer thankfully was attentive to the TV screens. He spotted an individual that was near the area that was attempting to jump the wall. He got on his cell phone, dispatched Jesse out there. Jesse got there within 2 minutes. The guy had no chance of even making it over the wall because of how quick we responded. So we had no theft occurrences at that incident. Thankfully, I was happy to report that, and we're going to continue doing the exact same thing. Okay? Yes.
Hi. My name is Margie Dorado, and I live here. I've been here since July of 2025. I was originally in Beaumont before that Ontario, and blah, blah, blah. I moved around quite a bit. But anyway, my daughter stays with me now some of the time. She visits me a lot so that she helps me too. She helping me too. And so I'm glad to have her there when she's there, when she can come. But she has a job coming up now in Anaheim. So the question, okay, I'm sorry. The question, I wanted to say, before the question though, exactly, what I wanted to say is I live here and I've been concerned, and this is for mostly, I would presume, for the women, because I'm a woman, and for a long time I was by myself completely, and it was very scary. I was attacked 3 times. They didn't touch me, except one time. I'll bring it up in a second. I was attacked. I looked through the peephole. It was threatened me through the peephole. Said, if you don't open this door, I'm not going to use the profanity that they used.
Is that here?
I live here.
No, was that incident here?
What do you mean here? It was here. Well, yeah. It was. Well, it was in my home.
Okay, here in Sun Lakes.
I live in Sun Lakes.
No, what I'm saying is, was the incident that you're talking about, did that occur here in Sun Lakes?
Yes.
So you were attacked at your home?
I was attacked. What really was mostly scary. He scared me through the window, and he had a big mask on, about this big. It was around Halloween, but it was a little after Halloween. And he had started attacking. He said, if you don't open the door, I will leave the profanity out, what he said to me. He said, I'm going to come in there, and I'm going to rip you up. I mean, I'm not making it up. I am not making it up. Wait a minute. I have no reason to exaggerate this. It was really serious. I was scared. I called my son, who has his own law office on Ligonia Street in Redlands.
Okay,
and he
ma'am,
came over and got-
before we go into this, exactly, I need to know what your question is to ask Michael.
Well, my
because
question
if
was,
this
is there
happened
something-
some time ago, that's not relevant to
Well,
what's
no,
going
it
on
didn't
now.
happen- Well, it wasn't that long ago, but it doesn't matter when it happened. And another person actually got into my house. Can I tell you this?
Okay, did you report it?
Yeah, of course, I always report everything.
Okay, you reported it to Michael, and then you also
No,
called the Banning
I didn't
PD?
have their phone number at the time. I called the Banning. I called
Banning
the
PD?
The Banning, and they came
And
right
Banning
out.
Police Department came out?
They came out, but it was too late. By the time they came out, and I didn't know the local number here. I'm sorry, I didn't have it. But it was late at night. I was very scared. I called the police. It took them a while to get out there because I know it takes them a while to come out here from. I guess here easier from here, but I didn't have that number then. So I called the 911. They came
Okay,
out right
ma'am,
away.
and I totally understand what you're going through, but I need for you to ask Michael a question.
Okay, so Michael, is there? I guess it's more of a question. Is it possible that they could have a little more? I'm off near Pine Valley, going that way, so I'm not too far from here, and off of Pine Valley and another couple of streets in there. I don't want to name the actual street, but that's where I live. And it's
Okay,
very-
look at him, don't look at me.
Okay, so I'll be
Well,
more
I
than.
guess I'm looking at you too. I know. All I'm asking, Michael, is that is there a possibility they can have a little more patrols in those darker areas up in there? Because I can walk. I can walk. It's only about 9 blocks from here.
You're right. So to answer your question, yes, we can increase patrol on areas that are suspicious, known for suspicious activity. As a matter of fact, we've been increasing patrols. Pine Valley, Forest Oaks, the Fairway Villas,
Yeah.
all of Riviera,
Right.
a lot of the northern side, beyond those walls. We have increased patrol more than more than expected, to be honest with you. In your situation, always call the police department first. 911 should always be your go-to to call on that type of situation. It sounds like you did that exactly, but I will be more than happy to increase patrol on any area that you need us to. My guys have no problems monitoring, patrolling, sticking around whatever area of concern comes up to us for it. Yeah, why don't you do me a favor? I'll give you my phone number here in a little bit. Give me a call later on, and we can continue see what we can do to help you out. Okay? Absolutely. Right.
Thank you, Michael. I've lived here for 27 years, and you all have done a great job because I come in late at night. You all really keep the place very safe, and thank you. And though we hear of all the many incidents, there are very few compared to the fact that we are so many people living here. So I do want to tell you that I feel very, very safe here. And so I come in late, and I'm out, in and out a lot. And I see people sometimes walking in. If they're with their dogs, I know they've gone out, and they wait till the car goes out, and then they walk in. But there are sometimes people I will see, against the wall. And as I go out, the last time twice. Somebody just walked in. So then I went to your office and I asked them, are you watching the CCTV? And they said, yes. I said, did you see these people come in? And they said, oh, they're residents. And they're on top of it. So I was concerned that people sometimes walk in, right? And I wanted to make sure that they were not stragglers coming in.
No, absolutely.
So I want to make people feel secure and confident, and I just think you'll do a great job.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that, and thank you. Most of the credit, I'm here just telling my team this is what we need to do. This is what we need to focus on. They deserve all the recognition. I could not be able to do this without my team. Lieutenant Roman's a great partner. My patrol staff is really great in responding. Our customer service is where we want it to be. We want to make sure that our residents feel comfortable approaching us. Going back to the issue that you said about pedestrians walking in, we do see pedestrians every single day, and we have come to learn them by names because we've had interactions with them and let them know, hey, it's probably best that you use the pedestrian gate and not the automobile entry for your own safety. But, you know, we can only do so much. But we get to know who these individuals are. So if folks do see somebody that's walking in that may not look like they belong here, call us. We will be more than happy to identify and let you know, yes, we know this person because we saw them leave earlier today and they're barely coming back from either their store run or whatever they may have done. But yes, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Any more questions?
Okay, we're going to take one more question.
Hi, Mike. I was just wondering, does patrol cover the area 24 hours? Okay, because I live in the villas and I hardly ever see anyone.
Patrol covers the entire facility 24 hours a day.
Okay.
We have 3 shifts, day shift, swing shift, and graveyard. In fact, in the villas area is where we started generating more of our citations these last couple of weeks. So that tells me our presence is being strong there at the moment. You may not see them right away, but at nighttime, they have their lights on. I've asked them to patrol with their lights on as deterrence, so that way people know, hey, security's out there. We can see them from a mile out here. But yes, they are patrolling the entire community 24 hours a day. It is a nonstop shift, okay?
Another thing I want to ask you, is it a good idea to have your porch light on every night? So
Yes.
that if some suspicious activity
Porch
can be
lights
spotted?
on. If you have
Okay.
pets, dogs are a great way of warning you, hey, there's somebody here. That dog's going to be barking excessively. We get calls about barking dogs, and when we show up, the dogs are doing their job. They're letting somebody know that there's something suspicious happening around here. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome, of course. Thank you so much for your time, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. Great report. Okay, now for our presentation, Dr. Baines from Loma Linda University. And he's going to do something a little bit different this time. So the 3 of us are going to walk around with a mic because you're going to need the mic. So, Dr. Baines.
Thank you. Well, I love the question and answer session you guys just had with Michael. So we're going to do the same thing. So I hope everybody loves to talk because that's what we're going to do. We're going to go around the audience. Usually I will do a PowerPoint presentation, but I realized even as when I was a student, that gets boring. You just want to look at slides and read off information, but I'm trying a new way to give knowledge. This way is where make it interactive. You know, share experiences, because that's one of the best ways to learn is where you share your experiences on certain topics to help others learn. You know, what's worked, what hasn't worked, okay? So today's topic is going to be wellness in the elderly. So I'm assuming elderly is 55 and above here in this community. I'm 55, so I'm going to consider myself elderly too, but we're young at heart, right? Exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to walk around. I'm just going to talk to you guys, and I want you to share. I'm just going to ask questions, and I want you to just share it with the whole group, okay? Don't feel shy. We don't always want the same person answering all the questions. You know, I tell this to my classes, and there's always a few who always have their hand raised before I even start because they're ready to answer the questions. But we want to get input from as many people as possible so we can learn a lot, okay? So as I said, this topic is going to be on wellness. First question. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word wellness? Just health, okay. Someone said food, okay. So nutrition. Exercise, so we got physical wellness. The holistic approach, okay. It's all part of wellness. Sleep, that's a great component of wellness. Confidence within, okay. Shoot out an answer. Fluid intake, yes. Hydration. Social involvement, that's another great one. This community is all about social involvement. I was walking around and I stumbled in the pool room and there was like 20 guys playing pool in there. I was like, oh, I forgot my wallet. You know, I need to go to my car and come back in here and play those guys a little bit later, right? Social involvement, what else do we have? Dancing, part of physical movement, yes. We're going to get into physical wellness pretty soon. Okay, next question. What is one thing that you hope to learn or take away from this presentation today? Why did you come here? What did you want to learn? Okay, the question about surgery. Not sure if I can help you with that one, but how to take care of yourself, okay. Security alarms? Okay, yes. Remember what Michael said, first thing, call 911 that moment, don't wait a week to do it. Okay.
How about new theories in better health?
Okay, new theories?
Probably the biggest common worry as we get older is the fear of Alzheimer's. And every page on Facebook and every page on almost any email, they're trying to sell you either how bad food is and causing you Alzheimer or some cure. And I find it over pressing to think, how do we sort out things and where do we get a true answer is what are the possible foods that bother us and what are the possible simple cures.
I know something new in the medical field over the last however many 10 years is the whole mind-gut connection. So it does kind of involve sometimes how your gut interacts with your mind. And my PhD was on how humor affects short-term memory. That was 10 years ago. I think I came and talked about that before. Was yes, humor helps short-term memory. So if you're already going into the aspects of, you're forgetting where you leave things or you want to improve your short-term memory, watch humor, interact with friends, laugh. Yeah, because, I can go into the technical details of how the mechanism works is basically there's a part of your brain that consolidates short-term memory, okay? But if you're stressed out and you're not in a happy mood, your cortisol levels increase. So cortisol is toxic to that area, so the more cortisol you have in your body, your short-term memory gets affected. So in reverse then is if you decrease cortisol, how you can do that? Watch some humor, laugh, watch comedy shows, okay? All right, next question. What does a healthy person look like to you? Smiles, okay. Confident? Confidence, yes. So if you looked at someone and you said, oh, I think that person is healthy, just by visually seeing, what would you be looking for? If they're fit, yes, okay. Not overweight, flexible, yes. All great answers. Does anyone have a personal story about a small change you've made in your life that's made a big difference in your health recently? Yes.
Linda, wait a minute.
when I'm sitting waiting in a doctor's office or any other place that I have to wait, I go to the, on Facebook, the Reels, and watch the dry bar comedies. They're short and they make me laugh.
Yes, perfect. Just don't get caught in that, what do they call it now, doom scrolling, where you're just constantly on your phone scrolling. And we all fall in that trap, you know, and then all of a sudden the algorithm knows what you want to be watching, and then you're constantly trapped on that phone too, so. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you feel you're currently prioritizing your wellness? We all gave some components of wellness, so overall, scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best, right? 1 being, you gotta work. You gotta work. 9, that's great, okay. So Kwame, come on up here and do this talk with me then, right? We got a 6, okay. 8. Very, very good answer, yes. Scale of 1 to 10? Anybody a 1 or 2 or 3 right now? If you wouldn't mind admitting that? Everybody's nutrition is on point? Everybody's working out? Yes. Are you walking alone or with your friends? Okay, for you. Okay. Okay. Some people want the distraction, the socialization aspect of walking. Some people, like you said, you don't. You're out there. You have things to think about. There's nature. You want to be outside. Yes. Okay.
Having a dog and walking a dog.
Yes.
Meeting people, other people who have dogs.
Yes. So you're not only getting your exercise, but your mood's getting better and you're socially interacting, all with that. And you can talk to, and the dog will talk back, right? Yes. So as this whole presentation that I'm going to do today is, the reason I want to do it this way is I want everyone in here to hear what has been working with other people. You know, I can tell you, you know, go outside and walk. Are you really going to do it? But if you hear other people in your community saying, hey, you know, I take my dog out for a walk, I end up running into someone else who has a dog, and we end up talking for 15 minutes, you know. That's all part of wellness. So the take home is I want you to hear what everyone else says. Okay, that's the take home. And then try to incorporate that for yourself, okay? So the first component we're going to discuss is physical wellness, okay? So the benefits of actual physical activity helps reduce the risk of chronic disease, improves your balance. You know, as the older we get, our balance starts to slip. Improves your mobility, you keep moving. Helps with your mood, as we said, you know, you're outside, you're walking, it helps with your mood, your thinking. And helps with weight management. You know, we all can end up losing a little bit of weight. You know, we get older, we lose muscle. We need to put on a little bit of muscle and watch our bone densities too. Different types of exercise, okay? So we have aerobics, which means you're moving, walking. I saw a swimming pool out here. Even if you're in the swimming pool, walking in the swimming pool, that's going to help out. If you know how to swim, that would be great. Someone had said dancing earlier, right? And I know, as I was talking earlier, you guys have social activities that you guys have dances. So that's a great thing. Strength training also. You want to add a little bit of muscle, even while you're getting older, okay? You need that strength. You guys have a gym here, and I was told earlier you have 3 or 4 gyms in this whole community, right? You can get dumbbells, you can get bands, you can do things in your house or your condo to help with strength training. And that'll help you maintain your muscle mass, and especially, yes?
If you don't know who to go to or what to do, you can always go to
Someone at the front desk?
No, it's, YouTube. Thank you. YouTube. I put in, I do a little taekwondo
Yes.
from, going along with them. YouTube.
YouTube.com. It's a site. You can learn so much from YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes. YouTube, YOUTUBE. YouTube, and there's a search. You can put in anything you want. How to cook fish, and you'll have thousands of videos on how to cook fish.
All right, how to
Right.
cook fish so that you're building up some strength.
Yes. Or, I mean, this is off topic. Let's say you bought something that's you don't know how to use, right? You bought a new air fryer. You can go to YouTube and say how to use, and then put the name of that specific air fryer. There's somebody already there who's opened up the box, told you exactly what to plug in, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, and that'll show you how to do it. And that's for so many products. It sounds daunting, but someone else wanted to know how to use something, and they put it onto YouTube, right?
Speaking of YouTube, that's on your TV. It's an app. So if you have a smart TV, just add the app YouTube. Now, I've been utilizing it quite a bit because my husband's down right now, and I don't have time to go to the gym or go walking or do any of that. So what I've been doing is just going to YouTube and placed exercise in the search, strength, how to, exercise with strength, weights. You can get 1 or 2 pound weights and just do movement. They even have chair yoga. You can get a chair out of your home, sit in the family room, dining room, whatever, living room, and just do yoga in a chair. So it's not, I'd rather get out and go to the gym because you meet people in the gym, but YouTube, if you can't get out, YouTube's the way to go, just to keep that movement going.
And another thing is, you don't really need weights. You can use your body weight. Body weight's resistant too. If you're gonna do a squat, your body is still using your muscles to lift yourself up and down. So you could start out just with a body weight exercise. Then maybe buy some bands and use bands to do some exercise, and then move up to dumbbells. The stronger you get, and I'm sure the gyms here have dumbbells that go from the smaller amounts to the higher amounts there too. And it's also a social activity too, as you said, so that's a good thing. Question?
Exercise.
There we go, getting your steps in.
Yes, when it comes to exercising with weights, how heavy a weight do you need to have? 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds? I mean,
That is individualistic for each person. I go to the gym, I'm gonna need 45-pound dumbbells. You might need a 2.5-pound dumbbell to do
okay,
the same
I guess
movement.
my question is,
Right.
are the lighter weight dumbbells, I use a 4-pound.
Okay.
Does that help? I mean,
Honestly, I'm gonna be, because I've been working out my whole life. If you can do a dumbbell with 4 pounds and you just go like this, like if I used my phone and did it 10 times and I didn't feel anything and I'm not sore the next day, and that's too light of a weight. So maybe move up to 5 or maybe 10, or there's a 7.5. You should be able to get, maybe by the time you're at 10 or 12 reps, you should be able to feel it, like you might have to struggle for the last 2 reps. But if you're just going like this, going through motions, it's not going to do anything for you.
okay, so if you feel like you still can't quite go to the next pound, then you're doing okay.
Then you're doing, yes. It's called, I'm going to throw another word, it's called progressive overload, which means, let's say for 2 or 3 weeks you were doing a 5-pound dumbbell for 10 reps, and when you started out, by the time you hit 8, 9, and 10, you were feeling it. I got to put it down now. And then in 3 weeks, by the time you got your 8, 9, and 10, that's pretty easy. Now you can move up to the 12.5-pound dumbbell.
Now, at our little more advanced age with doing that, are we going to build our, increase our bones? Delay osteoporosis?
Yes, so the research has shown the number one thing you can do while getting older is lifting weights, going to the gym, working out, included with the diet. So you also want to have a good diet, make sure you have your calcium and vitamin D and all of that, but lifting the weights to get stronger, okay?
And that is water and protein. And both things are lacking in the elderly. We get lazy. We don't feel it as quickly that we're thirsty, but it's absolutely necessary for health.
100% hydration and protein to build your muscle. Yes. Yes. Right. Question.
Can you talk about vitamins? I mean, there's so many things you can get off the shelf.
Right.
What do you?
I would say for that one, I would talk to your physician because each person is different, but they have multivitamins. You want to make sure you have those at least. But if there's anything specific lacking, if you went and you did some blood work and vitamin D levels are low, so that way you can actually know what you actually need to make sure you're taking. They always say be out there in the sunlight, but that just gives you a portion of it. Sometimes you do need those vitamins or supplements. Sometimes the foods you eat will give you those, but then sometimes people don't eat those foods. So it's individual specific, but that would be, talk to the physician about that because they could do the blood work for you then, okay? So next question, what is one small physical activity you enjoy doing each day that's not walking? We all know that we all love to walk. Is there anyone in here who does any type of physical activity that they enjoy? Pickleball, yes. Golf, you guys are living on 2 golf courses here, right? Yes. We have actually strength classes and jazzercise. Okay. Yeah, so this community is amazing because they offer you these programs and classes that you can take for
Tennis.
Tennis. Okay, we have pickleball, tennis,
Gardening.
golf, gardening, yes. Swimming. Okay.
I just want to say with my situation, I'm a very strong woman, and I'm 92 years old.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I was in my bathroom, in my closet, getting some clothes out, and the next thing I knew, I was on the floor. I had to call 911. I had to take my other hip to get to the phone. And they called me, and I had osteoporosis, but I'd been given what they call density.
Yeah.
And it didn't show that. When I went to the hospital, they found it, and they said that type of thing was not correct for you. And I was in a hospital. I broke my femur. I have a ride in there, the fused, but the other part of the half, that's not a problem. It's where I broke the hip joint, and I had that, I call it a claw, to hold it together for 1 year. And as soon as they took it out, it created a problem for me. And it feels like the joint wants to go out, but it doesn't quite go there. So I'm looking at probably second opinions just to find out where, because they give me shots and pills, and I don't like that at all. I'm a very, very active gal, and I used to walk 3-4 miles a day. I swam every day.
Yes.
And just like that, it happened.
Right.
And I think everybody should get a density text.
Yeah, I think when you see again, you have to go to your physician and, let them know, give me a wellness check. They'll do the blood work, they'll do the scans, they'll check for blood flow to see how your arteries are working. Get the wellness checkup. It's like, yes, it's like you're taking your card to do the checkup at, at the dealership or your mechanic, right? They're gonna check for everything all the fluids are working, everything's on there the way it's supposed to be, everything's moving the way it's supposed to be doing. But again, if you don't do that and all of a sudden you think you're doing well and you're in shape, you might fall one day. And then there's the consequences, right? Okay, so we know some of the things that you like to do. What is a barrier? Something that's preventing you from actually staying active? Laziness, okay. Sore muscles, yeah. So when you're sore, like, oh, I worked out, I don't want to go work out again. Okay. Chronic pain, yes.
I'm sorry. You can, have a partner, or, meet somebody in the exercise class and say, why don't we walk every evening or every other day? And then, if you have someone that you're working with, that increases your potential of actually going out and doing it.
So one of the barriers you're saying is that you don't like to do it alone, you need a partner to do it with.
Well, it's very motivating.
Right, but I've had workout gym partners for so many years of my life. It does come down to sometimes, all right, my friend needs to work tonight, so we're not going to work out, because now that your friend is not going, okay, now I'm not going to go. All right, my friend's got an exam to study for, or they're going on vacation with their family for a week. So now I'm not going to work out for a week. So I agree, having someone there with you, that motivates you, but still, you should still be able to want to go and do that physical activity yourself too, because, just because who knows, maybe they're still doing something while they're on vacation, and you're just sitting at home, in front of YouTube, because YouTube has sucked you in now, right? Right, exactly.
One of the things that I find is you have to schedule your activities and be consistent.
Yes.
Sometimes I see people walking one day, and the next day I had to do this, I had to do that. You schedule it. We can't go anymore. We're old, so we need to realize you stop now and take care of it now. Don't put it off till tomorrow or the next hour.
Right.
Okay, you have to be consistent, and it has to be a schedule.
Right. That's a great point. Be disciplined, right? Yes. Having a calendar, I don't know how many of you guys have a calendar on your wall. You guys had to come here today at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock today, so you knew you were coming. You could do that, same thing, every 3 to 4 p.m., that's your physical activity time. You could change it. You can go swimming, walking, going to the gym, walking your dog. So it's already pre-planned for you. That's part of your daily routine. And then you can do that, the whole pre-planning thing, and you can also use that, which I'll get to in a moment, is for your meals. If you don't have your meals planned for the next day, sometimes you just want to eat some fast food, you want to order a pizza, you want to, it's easy to snack when you know that your meals aren't ready for the next day. But having that consistency is huge. Sometimes it takes a while to get to that consistency phase, but imagine doing 30 days straight, and then all of a sudden you took a week off, and it's easy to just, all right, well, I'll start next week. Now you just went 30 days without working out. You just broke your streak, right? And it doesn't have to be every single day. Consistency could mean I'm going to work out 4 out of 7 days this week, and so then you hit your goal. You might hit your goal in the first 4 days, and you might, I want to do 5 days this week. So the consistency, don't put pressure on yourself to do something every day, because if you can't do it for any reason, let's say you were sick or you had to go somewhere, and that's going to derail your whole wellness plan, okay? It's in the long run. You take it as a week, take it as a month. For the month, I want to do 3 to 4 days a week for a month. You know, and then you have a calendar, or you have a planner, you check mark that off. You know, there's technology now, but I'm in the middle. I like to write things on paper, but I also like technology. A lot of individuals older than me, they just love paper, and I agree with that. My students are 18 years old, 19 years old. They don't even know what paper is. They just have their tablets or their iPads, and they're writing with that, which is great. My office is stacked with papers, and they always laugh when they come in, like, when are you going to get rid of all this? And I have the iPad, it's sitting there charging, and I'm not even using it, right? So, you know, sometimes I think it's easier when you just take a pen or a marker and check mark off something you did for the day, and that leads for the consistency. What's a fun way to move around during the day? What's something that's a fun way that you make it fun where you want to move around during the day?
Microphone runner.
Playing sports, yes. You know, when we were younger, we wanted to play sports. We did play sports. You know, I've heard pickleball, tennis. You know, that's a great way to play sports, right?
I still do housework. So when I do my housework, I put on the music, and it just gets you in the mood, and you're popping around, and
Yes.
you know, it's a movement. It's just movement, you know.
So what I've learned over the years, if you go to the gym or you exercise 30 minutes a day, okay, so that's your goal, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. What matters more than that 20 or 30 minutes a day is what you do the rest of the day. If you're just sitting on your sofa the rest of the day and you go move for 30 minutes, that's great. But if you want to get in a better shape, get leaner, move around throughout the day. I have a desk job, so sometimes that's harder for me. But if you ever notice individuals who are in construction, who are moving around all day, they're always, not always, but they're leaner, they're in better shape. So think about it that way too, is what can I do the rest of the day? So you're not gonna go exercise for 16 hours. You might sleep for 8, you're not gonna exercise for 16 hours a day. But if you're cleaning, you're vacuuming, you know, you're walking more, you're outside, it's just the movements in itself, that all adds up. Does anybody use technology? You know, they track their steps. Yes, okay, there's apps out there right now who would do that. Okay, I had a few hands up. So technology can be useful too, okay? So, like, I have mine, it tells me how many steps I'm doing today. Like, if your goal is 10,000 steps, it's monitoring that for you, so you don't have to guess. Oh, you know, I thought I moved around a lot today, and you looked at your watch. Oh, that's barely anything. So you know you got to move. And mine goes off every hour, stand up. Stand up and move around, right? Yeah, so even if you stand up and move around for a few minutes, that's what it wants you to do, and especially when we get older. Question, yes?
There's scientific evidence that if you stand up every hour you're sitting for 2 minutes, it will increase your lifetime. And also, they say like 150 minutes a week, you know, minimum. That may not be 10,000 steps, because that's an artificial load. But again, the newest response is that if you walk from 3,000 to 5,000 steps, that can increase your life by like 20%.
Wow.
You know,
And having a tracker, let's say you have a watch, or you know, you don't even need a fancy one of those technology watches. You can just have like a small tracker that put in your pocket, it tracks your steps. Let's say for 1 week, you do your normal activity and it says 1,000 steps. You don't have to jump from 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 the next week. Even if you just made a slight change, I'm going to add an extra 10, 15 minutes a day. That just added another 500 or 1,000 steps for you, or movement. So again, you don't have to go from sedentary to an elite athlete in 1 week, right? Just small changes. Not happening, right? But just small changes will make a huge effect on yourselves, okay? All right, let's go to the next topic, mental wellness, okay? How many have heard it, the term use it or lose it? Yes. What does that refer to? Your mind. Your mind, right? What are some examples of use it or lose it that you, yes?
Well, I think learning new things, learning a language, and for myself recently, because I'm a widow and my husband knew how to do everything, but I had either of my toilets, they broke, they were continuously running. So I thought, I'm not calling a plumber. I went to YouTube.
YouTube, I was going to say that.
I found exactly what I needed, and then I went over to Home, I found out I could take this little thing off called a flapper. Went over to Home Depot and I said, I need this.
Right.
They said, it's right there, so I got it. Came home and I fixed the darn thing myself.
There you go.
And then the other toilet has a more sophisticated thing. That was running. So again, back to YouTube. It was a Kohler, and I'm looking at several of them. I'm thinking, I can do this. I figured all else, I know how to turn the water off. So I figured all else fails, I'll call somebody. So I fixed that. And then when I moved in, I had this very sophisticated Rainbird water thing, and it was coming on too much. So I thought, okay, I need to find this, and I did. So I went to YouTube, and this man said, you do this, and I put it on pause, and I ran out to the garage, and I did that. Then I'd run back in and see the next thing, put it on pause, run out and did that. Pretty soon I had it figured out. And, it's kind of empowering, it saves you money, and I think it's good for the brain cells.
Definitely. What was your name?
My name? Barbara.
Barbara. If anybody needs a plumber, contact Barbara, okay? She'll bring her phone. She's going to bring her phone with the YouTube. She's going to help you guys out, okay? Yes. Okay.
Yes, she's my friend. I know I'm going to call her next time.
Yes, for sure.
But I just want to say another good mental exercise, cards, but especially bridge. It's very challenging. You really have to think.
Is that the game you need with 3 other players, so there's 4 of you, or 4 for bridge? So that's a social activity too, which is good for the mood and the mental health, right? So we said cards, YouTube, learning how to do things, learning a new language. Reading, yes. What was that? Puzzles. Crossword puzzles, yes. I guess there's a new one called Sudoku. Yeah, people do Sudoku, they do crossword puzzles, yes. Anything that stimulates your mind. Yes.
The other puzzles that you work, you have to figure out, and it's challenging, but it's also enjoyable
Yes.
because you get a finished product.
Again, when I was walking around on the tour, you guys have that paperback room. There's puzzles in there. I don't know if you rent them for a week or so, and then you bring them back when you've finished it. You guys have books there that you guys can actually read. I guess you take them out, and it's like a library, right? You just bring them back. So you guys have a lot of things at this community center to help with your wellness, right? What is some activities that you guys do to help you when you're stressed? How do you lower your stress? Because we all have stress. Sorry? Meditate, okay. Music is a huge one, right? Pets. Pets are amazing to decrease your stress. Pet your cat, yes. Weightlifting? Yes, that's a huge one for stress.
I leave that inside of the house. I jump in the golf cart, take the dog, and both of us get outside. Maybe I ride around the community for an hour, maybe half an hour, but just looking at people's houses, the flowers, I forgot how really stressed I was.
Right.
Being outdoors, moving, and have my dog at my side.
Very nice, yes. In the nature too, you're looking outside, you're seeing people, you're people watching, yes. Exercise is a huge one, by the way, for stress relief. And one of the things I've learned over the years is if you're putting yourself through, let's say, a harder workout, and whatever stressed you out, you don't even think about it anymore because you're just, How am I going to get through this? You know, I have to do this to finish my workout. Doing something that takes your mind completely away from your stress works perfectly. I'm sure it's going to come back after, you know, an hour or so, you're stressed out, but during that hour or however long that you're trying to do something that you're not feeling stressed will help out tremendously. Call a friend, phone a friend, go meet a friend, yes. But one of the things is, let's not talk about the stress, right? Because then you're going to get more stressed, right? Yes. Yes, watching a movie. Anything that keeps your mind occupied, right? Say a prayer, okay. What is a skill that you always wanted to learn, but you haven't given it a chance yet, or you haven't tried? A new language. There's so many ways out there to learn new languages these days with technology. But that, again, that comes back to your mental wellness. You're using your mind, use it or lose it, right? Yes. Is there anything, well, I'm not going to say plumbing because you've mastered plumbing now. Is there, you open the door, you know, right? Anyone else have something they've always wanted to try to learn? Very nice. That keeps you, you have to be mentally strong to do knitting too, because you're concentrating the whole time. Right? You're not concentrating. You're just watching TV, you're doing whatever, it's natural. Okay, you're keeping your finger dexterity going though, right? You're using your hands, yes. Musical instrument, yes. Mental health, also, when we get older, what's something that affects a lot of us? Depression, that was the word I was looking for, right? Sometimes we don't have family members or friends that we can talk to or we feel close enough to talk to. We see, especially with social media, I know a lot of you are on social media. Everyone who posts anything on social media, they're posting the great things in their lives. You never see, you know, the horrible things that happen in their life. So then you start comparing yourself to other individuals. Wow, they're out there, they're doing this, their kids and grandkids are doing this, so you start comparing, you get depressed, and it's just a vicious cycle. But mental health and depression, so you can seek professional help. You know, you can, biggest thing is talk to friends, right? Keep yourself active, you know, things that you're feeling depressed about, try to answer the why and then try to resolve those issues. Social wellness, next topic. I know you guys brought this up before too. So we have family and friends. How many of you have family and friends in the area that you can go visit or they come and visit you, right? Yes, friends, right? Family, kids, grandkids, right? How many of you learned how to use FaceTime? FaceTime, right? Zoom, oh wow, you said Zoom, right? Yeah, Zoom, you can have so many people together on your laptop screen, you know, and if all the family members have the same link, they can log in, you get that. It's like a Brady Bunch. Remember that show where you had all 9 people in there at the same time? Yes. I think I just aged myself. I used to love Brady Bunch. So, yeah, so I'm sure you guys all loved Brady Bunch too. Community engagement, that's part of social wellness. So what you guys are doing right now is community engagement. What you guys do, I'm sure there's events that go on during the weekends, right? Friday night, there's got to be going something Saturday, Sunday. Every day there's some type of event. Every Friday there's music. So with music, you're improving your mood. You're moving around if you're dancing. There's your physical. You hit your social activity now. So just music in itself incorporates so many different ways that you can improve wellness. Singing. Come on up. Come on up. How many of you sing? Okay. Right. So while you guys sing, others are dancing. It's a whole social engagement right there. Right? Oh, in the corral? Okay. Let them know what day and times that they can come join.
Monday mornings. From 9:30 to 12:15 every Monday, usually.
And the interesting thing about that, plus an exercise class. The interesting thing about singing in a chorale or being in an exercise class or something that you're doing every week, you get to be, those people get to be family. And when you have I go to an exercise class and sometimes I just don't want to go, but I want to go because my friends are there, that we've been doing it for something like 20 years. And the same thing with the chorale. We've been singing together for as long as I've lived here, 17
Social
years.
wellness, yes.
Absolutely.
And another aspect of that is, you've been going for so many weeks, and they're your family. They're going to call you up and be like, "Where were you today?" Don't be hiding out on us. Don't be lazy today. We'll see you there tomorrow. So they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to be checking on you, right? Yes. What's another group or social activity that you do here that we haven't talked about that you really enjoy? Bingo. Oh, there's bingo here. Okay. Every Tuesday night bingo. Okay. Bocce ball. Okay. That's very good. You're keeping physically active on that one too. Bingo's great. Better watch out. You're going to throw elbows. Whoever yells bingo out first, right? You know what? I went that way and I saw a full liquor bar over there. I was like, this place is rocking. I'm sure on Friday or Saturday nights, right? Yes, happy hours, okay? It was packed on a Wednesday night. So this community has so many activities for you guys to do for the social wellness, which is amazing. So I can just throw this out there. You shouldn't ever feel alone. That depression can really, really get in. But with so many different activities and so many different clubs that are here, I'm sure you can find something that you enjoy to do, okay? And they seem like they're all group activities. So that's huge. If it's just one or two of you, okay, great. Maybe you're not going to show up the next time. But if you have 10, 15 people, that just makes it so much more fun. And then they're going to start holding you accountable. All right, next component of wellness. How about your spiritual and emotional wellness? What do you think of that? Why is it important to you?
It's big part of my life. And I go to church every Sunday, and that's another, social group. It's like family. We all hug, it's just a wonderful feeling.
Very nice.
Gives you faith.
It gives you faith, right?
Hope.
Hope. Those are key words right there. Also, what's your purpose? What's your sense of meaning right now? We all just don't want to exist until we pass away. That's not going to be fun. Why are we still here? What do we want to leave behind? What do we want to do? Not just every day, but, for the next few months. Like, what's your plan? Have purpose. Connect to something. It could be church. And if it's not church, that's fine also. But have a purpose of what you're doing, okay? How do you manage grief and loss? Because the older we get, we lose family, we lose friends, right? How are some ways that you guys are managing grief and loss? Because that's part of wellness too, how you handle this. Because sometimes that could lead to depression. Sorry? Okay, so you're able to share, talk, right, okay, being together.
We also have a group here for grief.
Grief,
Yeah,
okay.
there are groups that people can join, or clubs, I guess you would kind of call it.
Right. Support, yes. And friends. But it all comes down to you have to take advantage of what they have, right? You know, it's hard to grieve on your own. You know, again, it could lead to depression, right? Especially if they're close, family members, friends that you've had. Even for here, you know, some of you, I think, have been here 20 years. So you've had friends here for 20 years, right? Love thy neighbor, exactly.
Well, I don't know if this is a downside, but I can't believe that I have lived here for almost 18 years. It goes by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a very active person, and I can't believe how fast the weeks go by. And all of a sudden it's Monday again, or all of a sudden it's Friday again, I don't want to say that's the downside to living here, but the time goes by so
But I'm going to
fast.
assume something about you, that you're active, you do things, your schedule is booked, so that's why the time is going by fast, right? Which is a good thing. You have to look at it as a good thing.
Yes, I know.
Yes. It's going by fast, but
And we lose, because of our age group, we lose a lot of people.
yes, right. But if life's going to go by fast, at least enjoy it, right? You know, I keep hearing things, and I'm 55. You know, when you get older, it's the regrets, right? What are you regretting? What should you have done? You know, and I work a lot, and I keep hearing, you need to enjoy your life more. You know, as soon as I pass away, you know, they might say something nice at work, but it's still a business, right? They're going to either fill my position or they're going to leave that position alone and they're going to move on. It's still a business. The university still has to go, right? So enjoy the time that you have here and try not to have the regrets. You know, if you're able to travel, travel. If you're, cruises? Someone said cruises? Yeah. Yeah, go on a cruise, right? I haven't been on a cruise, and I've been wanting to go on a cruise for so long, but yeah, I need to take my own advice. That's the thing. So all of these things, I'm like, oh, I should be doing that. I should be doing that, you know, right? It's easier to give advice than do it actually yourself, but yes, the regrets. And the other thing is, don't get into a rut. We all know what that means. Like, you know, you get into that pattern of daily, okay, you know what, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to eat something, going to watch TV, going to eat some lunch, going to watch TV, maybe walk around a little bit with my dog, come back, watch some TV, eat some dinner, watch. Right. But then you get into a rut. You're not hitting any of these components of wellness, really, you know? So, yeah, just falling into a rut or patterns that you know that you shouldn't be into, right? You know you shouldn't be doing these things. But sometimes it's easier just to do that, right? So purpose and community, that's another component of wellness. The give back mindset, you want to give back? What does that mean to you, giving back to the community? Volunteer work, that's excellent, yes. What type of volunteer work? Anything. Nonprofits, right. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Civil War, South, the North, the South, that war. They fought the Korean War. A lot of them died. A lot of them died overseas. And I have a big family that served their country and did everything. To me, that's honor. I have a big thing like this big of all the ancestors, or as many as I can get anyway. I have them. And to me, that keeps me alive because I cherish my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Who gave me my life overall.
So that sounds like you have your purpose right there. Yes. You have something that's important to you. Yes, thank you. So volunteering, right? Another thing you guys can do for giving back is, we're all older. We have skills that younger people don't have. You know, there's nothing wrong with you sharing what you know with someone who doesn't know. You know, it could be woodworking, it could be, you know, electronics, how to fix things. You know, there's things, plumbing, right? I heard that right there. So things that we know and others don't know, that's a way of giving back, okay? Yes?
Well, I also think financial support too, to people and organizations that need the money, that are, you know, that interest you, that are good for society, and maybe friends or individuals, you know, that might occasionally need a little help. I think that's important too.
Yes. That's another way of giving back. That's a great way of giving back.
For those who don't have the financial, I give blood. You know, that's something that I can do that
Yes.
doesn't, you know, require money.
Yes.
So,
And that helps many people when you donate blood. Yes.
Well, I'm going to be starting soon working with new teachers. And I'm so excited to be able to go back and talk to them about classroom activities and
Yes.
classroom things that I know will work for them. And these are new teachers who maybe haven't even finished their degrees. So
Right.
I'm really excited about that.
That's great, yes. Because now they're going to learn something that they don't know from you that you know that's actually worked. So look at it this way too. Let's say your grandkids, or you know someone who's younger, who you're going to go help them learn something, right? But guess what also you can do at that moment? Yes, they're going to help you with things that you don't know. Technology, yes, that is huge. That's what I was going to get across is, not only are you helping them, but they can help you. So they're also learning the value of giving back also. So you're teaching not just grandkids, it could be anybody. You know, you can always learn something from someone else. You know, but technology is huge. My mom, I think, is 84. She got her first cell phone like 2 years ago. Now I'm getting text messages. You know, I'm just like, I never thought I'd be texting with my mom, right? Yes, right. But that's a way the new generation communicates. You know, especially with your grandkids, they'll be happy just with text messaging. They don't have to talk on the phone, you know. But we have to learn that maybe text messaging is the way that's how they communicate, right? We should be happy that we're at least getting those messages, right? Right.
Along those lines of sharing your life, and in my family now, I am the matriarch, and two of my grandchildren, especially the one boy, when he was going to marry this girl, he called me to ask me what I thought and all of this information. And then my other granddaughter, she calls me the wise woman. And anytime there's a big thing, they call me, and I'm thinking, please help me. Please help me get this right. But I just tell them, you know, what I think, and it's kind of been, it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, because you have experience in life. So that's why they're reaching out to you. You know, their grandma, like, can you tell me what I should be doing? You know, but that also feels good, though, doesn't it? Your mood gets better that they're reaching out to you with their concerns in life. So that's it, all part of the wellness. It just keeps adding up. All right, so we're on the conclusion now, okay? So we've learned that physical activity is important, you know, mental stimulation, social wellness, hydration, sleep, exercise. We've learned so many different components. Everyone's given their examples and experiences. So again, it's easy for just me to stand up here and tell you guys to do things, but when you hear others actually say, this is what I do, because that's what's working for them. And if there was any barriers, you know, barriers happen for all of us. Nobody's perfect. You know, no one wants to get up every day and say, I'm going to work out. You know, one day you're just going to be tired and you don't want to go. Either you fight through it and you go, or, okay, you take a day of rest and then you go the next day. what is one thing that you can do this week to start improving your wellness? Anything that we've talked about today or something that we haven't? What's something you want to incorporate this week? Yes?
Making a schedule for myself.
Yes.
And then trying to stick to it.
Okay, that's great. See how someone else had brought that up, having a schedule, being consistent, and now we all learned that is an actual way that can help our wellness plan. What's something else that someone wants to incorporate this week? Yes. Yes, we are all people. Yes, thank you. What else is somebody going to incorporate this week from what we've learned? Sleep? Go to sleep earlier? Sleep longer? So you're sleeping about 4 hours a night? 4 to 5 hours, so you want to sleep longer?
Yeah, discipline myself to sleep long.
Right. So they usually say with sleep, keep the bed just for sleeping. You know, don't be laying in bed to watch TV. Don't be laying in bed to scroll on your phone. You know, or you have your TV above, you know, on the wall where your bed is. If you do, you can do all those things, but when it's time to go to sleep, get in the bed and go to sleep, right? That's something that can help on that also. Anyone else who's going to incorporate something? Yes. YouTube. You're gonna learn how to. Yes, you know, we're all laughing, but YouTube is so informative. Okay. Yeah, it's, you know, and another thing, I don't know if you guys have heard of ChatGPT. You know, you can go onto Google. You know how Google has, you can put anything you want and everything will come up. It's called Google Gemini. So put in Gemini in the search box for Google, and it's going to open up a page where you can ask questions. And it takes everything from the internet that's out there and gives you the answers. You know, you can say, what is the best way to, like I said before, what is the best way to cook salmon in an air fryer? It will take all the information that's out there on the internet and write it out there for you. You can ask it how to save an extra $100 a month. You could tell Google or Gemini, this is the food I have in my fridge today. Tell me what can I make that's going to be healthy for me today. Any question you have. So that's more technology. So the social wellness, talk to your grandkids, they'll be able to show you and you'll be able to help them on things too. It's one big circle, right? You can ask Siri questions also, right? But a lot of my students with this new technology, sometimes they have conversations. So they might be lonely. They're going to talk back to you. You can have actual conversations, right? It's wild what's going on right now with technology. Okay, second to last question. What's a manageable goal that you'd like to add to your wellness plan now? What's something that you're like, you know what, this is going to be my goal? So we had earlier, sleep a little longer. That's a goal for her. Learn as much as you can. Okay. Say no. To? Say no to what?
Say no to Michelle?
Say no to In-N-Out Burgers?
Say no to all the organizations that invite me to be part of them or to just do things that I do. I do a lot of things, so.
So you might be getting overwhelmed.
Not really overwhelmed because I enjoy everything I do, and I give my best to everything that I do. But that's the reason I go to bed late, because I'm super organized, and I have my schedule, and I have everything. So I want to manage it in such a way that I will have maybe 6 hours of sleep.
So that's a goal for you?
That's a goal
Right.
for me,
That's a very
yes.
good goal to have, yes.
Yeah.
What
So
are some,
saying no.
yes, what are some other goals? Anybody want to increase their physical activity? Or everyone's happy with the amount of physical activity they do? Yeah, everyone could do a little bit more, right?
18,000 steps a day this year.
Wow, really?
5,000 away. I'm at 13, no, I just hit 14,000 today, so I've got 4 more to go.
That's amazing. The 18,000. Yes. Okay. That's amazing, 18,000 steps. Okay. Do we have another hand up here? What are, besides physical activity, anybody want to improve their nutrition? Nutrition, could be a goal. And again, it doesn't have to be you don't have to make yourself feel like, oh, I didn't eat the right things all day long. You know, that's just too much pressure on yourself. Just making small changes. You know, how many of you drink soda? Okay, so even if you say, I'm going to cut down 1 can of Coke a day. You know, you don't cut it all out, just 1 can, that will make a difference. You know, just like even with the physical activity, I'm going to add 1 more day of walking in the week. You're not going to put pressure to, it's 7 days every day, all day I'm going to walk. That's too much pressure on yourself, right? Okay. An addiction? Yeah. Because if you don't do it, you feel like something's missing, right? Yes. Yes. See, the key word, did you hear what she said? What was the last thing she said? She enjoys it. So maybe going to the gym and lifting weights you're not going to enjoy, so you're not going to want to do it. Maybe it's the walking that you're going to enjoy. So find something that you enjoy to do, because that'll make it consistent. You've done it for 40 years, right? So what was that one? I thought I heard what I thought I heard, but I agree 100%. 100%. That's my next talk when I come back in a few months. Sorry? Oh, you didn't hear it? Now did you hear it? Yes, right. I mean, let's talk about that for a second, okay? Physical activity, mental stimulation, right? Social stimulation, right? Wellness. He's hitting components of wellness with just that. You know, it's not, I mean, yeah, we laugh at it, but it doesn't mean when you get older you don't want those, you don't want that, okay? Question? Yes. Theater and movies. Mostly theater. Yes. Very nice. Ukaipa has a community center now too for theater, so yeah, I think the last couple of years they just built one too, so they have events there too. So I was going to ask the last question, what's the single most important message you'll remember from this talk? But besides the answer that we have back there, right? I like the answer about enjoying. Do things that you enjoy. That'll help your wellness. You know, we can't force you to do things, especially when you don't enjoy it. You know, maybe you like to be alone. You know, maybe that, you know, being home most of the time and you work out at home, you do things at home. Maybe that works for you and you're very healthy because you enjoy that. Stick to that. Right, but do things that you enjoy. Okay, last thing. What's the take-home message for yourself?
Be kind to yourself, be good to yourself, and be kind to others.
Okay, I'm going to give you the mic on that because that needs to be repeated. Sorry.
Okay. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. and be good to someone and yourself.
Very nice. Yes.
Can you tell us something about yourself? I mean, what university? What's your name? What do you teach? Where do you teach? I don't know anything about you, and I'm a reporter. I'm
Yes.
trying to write it down. So who are you?
I guess, Linda, you did not pay attention when I introduced Dr. Baines.
No. Wait. I was the gentleman going through the doors that are locked, that weren't locked, that they forgot to lock. I was that person who walked through the gate, right? So that was me. Yeah. So my name is Gurinder Baines. I'm a professor, and I can help you spell all of that when we do that later. Yes, I have a few minutes before I leave. I'm a professor at Loma Linda University and a program director at the university. My program is the Associates in Health Science, and what that means is my students either come straight out of high school to go do their associate's degree, or anyone who wants to change their career in life, they need to get college classes done because they want to go into nursing or dental hygiene or sonography. They need 2 years of courses. And so instead of going to maybe a community college, they can come to Loma Linda right out of high school now, which wasn't possible before. Right. Yes, so they come there, do the 2 years in my program, and then they move on to the next program. And this is a brand new program. We just started it 2 years ago. So our first graduating class will be in June, and the students are moving on to either nursing or sonography or dental hygiene. Yes. Actually, I do. I do my own recruiting, which is not pretty common these days, right? I'll go to the different high schools in the area and the college fairs, and I'll recruit for the program, right? Yes. And so if you have grandkids who want to go into fields such as nursing, and they're junior or senior in high school, keep Loma Linda University in mind. Little history about me. I was born in England. We moved to Chicago when I was 3. Yes, Chicago, great city, yes. Came to California about 17, 18 years ago. Have you guys seen that movie, The Godfather? Right, I think one famous line was, they kept giving me jobs I couldn't say no to. So it was like Loma Linda, I couldn't say no. I started out as a volunteer and went home for a couple months. They called me and said, hey, we're doing another research study. You want to come volunteer? I was like, no, I want to get paid this time, right? So they gave me contract work. So I went from volunteer to contract work, and then they knew my work ethic was good, so they said, why don't you start out as staff? So I was on staff, and then from there they said, why don't you teach a class for us? I'm like, which class? And I'm like, I don't know how to teach. I've never taught before. It's okay, just go up there and you'll do fine. So I started teaching, and then they said, do you want to get your PhD? I said, sure. And I didn't have to pay for it, so I got a PhD, and then they moved me to faculty. So as you could tell, all these positions I couldn't say no to. Right, couldn't say no to. So then I went from assistant professor to associate to full professor, and now program director. So, all from starting from a volunteer at Loma Linda University. I thank you. You never know where your life is going to take you, right? And, we all still have many more years to go. Remember, we said we're not going to make any regrets. So make some changes. We still have a long way to go. And I mean that for all of us. So, yes, we still have to live. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Baines.
You're welcome.
Very interesting. So I just want to let everybody know, thank you for coming to not Welcome Home, but Community Awareness. And our next program is, April 3rd, I believe. It's either April 3rd or April 7th. You'll get a flyer. And it is going to be AI, the scams and all the problems with AI. So something that you're going to want to attend. And I thank you for showing up. And have a great, it is April 7th? It's April 7th.
So be honest about this question. Do you enjoy it more when we all talk as a group, versus when someone's up here and they're just lecturing you, showing you slides, and then you get 5 minutes at the end for questions and answers. So interactive that's what I was assuming, because if someone's just up here presenting and then you only have 5 or 10 minutes to answer questions, we would have never hit any of this. We wouldn't have learned about each other if we only had 10 minutes to do this, right? For Q&A. Okay, I just wanted to thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.